We experience life through our senses. What we see with our eyes, hear with our ears, taste in our mouth, feel on our skin and smell with our nose. All of this is explained in proven scientific theories. Our senses allow us to basically tune into tangible and invisible elements in our environment to allow us to perceive the world. But we cannot prove that our senses all experience these outer elements the same way. One person may see a color as purple, another is sure it's pink. One person loves strawberries, another is allergic. Older people may struggle to hear quieter sounds, and so on. We're all using our senses to different degrees and with different results. In a way, our senses are just like our emotions. We all have them, and we can relate to each other's emotions, but may never truly feel what another person feels in any given moment. Our experiences of life and the world around us are never truly the same. Science doesn't have an exact theory to quantify or calculate that difference between us. Well, not yet anyway. What we do know is that everything is energy, and energy cannot be destroyed. We and everything else around us is made up of tiny particles that move. Yet somehow our senses cause us to perceive the difference between my particles and yours. I see you as a separate individual and vice versa. Why would our senses not perceive the finer details, the finer atoms and particles? Is it similar to how our mind allows us to forget? Otherwise, how would we cope with remembering everything all at once? Are we even supposed to be able to perceive the finer details? Scientists say we use different parts of our brain for different things. Our brain processes everything that facilitates our senses, so could we train our brain to sense more? It's already been proven that our brains can be trained to take on new habits, new patterns of thinking, and to form new associations, so it doesn't seem like a huge stretch of the imagination. Along these lines, scientists and governments have even invested in studies to investigate whether other senses are possible. Call it our sixth sense, intuition, or psychic abilities. Whatever you want to call it, nowadays there seems to be enough studies in various fields to allude to the fact that there is something to it. Scientists also investigate our sleep, and when you really think about it, how strange is the action of sleeping? We suddenly go into quiet mode, our mind goes elsewhere, but our senses may still operate. We still feel a warm pillow or can be awoken by a loud noise. We can see images of places we've never been, and when it comes down to it, scientists are forced to admit that we still don't really understand it. The whole process seems to be quite intangible. Our thoughts themselves are intangible, and scientists have now proven that the anecdotal term gut feeling may actually be a physical process, an almost electrical signal reader near our gut. In other words, maybe our brain isn't the only tangible part of our body that lets us think. I often wonder what would happen if we were to invest in these areas as much as we invest in others. Would what once seemed like science fiction become an acceptable fact, a normal way of life? Would we be wiser and do more good in the world? Or would our human nature cause us to abuse our newfound abilities? I honestly don't know, but something tells me that there's a lot more to the word than the common person can sense or tangibly pinpoint. Are we always sending out and receiving energetic signals? If we are, do our thoughts and our senses affect the signal? Are some signals helpful and others unpleasant? Do some people send out and receive stronger intangible signals? If so, how and why? Is modern life set up in such a way that helps us to enhance these senses, or are they being watered down by distractions and noise? These are all questions I ask myself more and more lately. The more I research it, the less strange and impossible it sounds. What do you think?